Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal has proposed a bold, fresh new tax plan to bring jobs back to his state. It's a little plan that I like to call Fuck the Poor. Now, why do I say that? Because this plan literally robs from the poor to give to the rich. So let's look at the specifics of this plan. Now, it eliminates income and corporate taxes. Wow, what a fresh new idea. Tax cuts. Like we haven't tried that before. And it increases the sales tax as high as 7%. 7%. So you gotta understand, sales taxes are absolutely regressive. Okay? And that's why it's gonna hurt the poor. In fact, it will cost the poorest 20% of taxpayers in Louisiana $395. And these are people making less than $12,000 a year. That equates to about 3.4% of their total yearly income. So what about the middle class? Well, it will cost the middle 20% of taxpayers $534. Now, middle class in Louisiana is about $43,000 a year, and so that equates to about 1.2% of their yearly income. Great. Okay, so what is this? What effect does this have on the 1%? The top 1% of taxpayers will see a tax cut of $25,423 a year, and that is 2.3% of their income. 2.3% of their income for people making $1 million a year. Now, you gotta understand, they're getting a tax cut that is twice the amount of people who are seeing their taxes go up. That would be the bottom 20%. Well, right now, the corporate tax rate is a soul-crushing 8%. Yep, 8%. And it's actually a progressive tax. According to the Louisiana Department of Revenue, the corporate tax rate is 8% on companies making over $200,000 a year. Now, it starts out at 4% for companies making $25,000 a year and goes up in increments. So I have this nice chart from Think Progress. And this shows the impact of the revenue neutral tax swap that repeals personal and corporate income taxes and hikes sales tax. So, I mean, just take a look at this. I mean, massive tax increase for the lowest 20%. Oh, look at that. Top 1%, huge drop. Huge drop in their taxes. Boy, that's great. So, even with the tax rate at 8%, 8% for corporations, what has all that done for Louisiana? Currently, they are the 5th poorest state in the Union. The 5th poorest state. Their median income is $41,000 and $896. They have a poverty rate of 18%. Now, odds are that's going to skyrocket if the Louisiana GOP legislature approves this plan. Now, Louisiana is in pretty good company. But the most poorest state is Mississippi, followed by Arkansas, Tennessee, West Virginia, Montana, South Carolina, Kentucky, Alabama, and North Carolina. So these are the 10 poorest states. And if this goes through, I suspect Alabama is going to move up the list. Now, here's another graph from the Conservative Tax Foundation about the states that receive more in federal money than they pay in. Oh, would you look at that? Louisiana, Texas. Look at all these states. Idaho. So, I want to break down some of the numbers, actually, of the states that have received more federal money than they have paid in. We're going to start with Louisiana. Louisiana received $137.77 billion in total federal spending. making it, once again, number 5 on the highest recipients of federal money. And that was from fiscal year 2011. Welfare queen. Mississippi received $39.14 billion in federal spending, making it the 22nd highest recipient. South Carolina got $77.5 billion. Florida received $577 billion. That is the biggest welfare recipient in the United States. Hawaii got $21.48 billion, and the good old conservative Texas received $294 billion in 2011 in federal aid. Good old conservative Texas. Back to Louisiana. They ranked 49th in health care out of 50. 49th. That is horrible. And now Governor Jindal plans on cutting corporate and income taxes and shifting the tax burden to the poor. You are literally doing a reverse Robin Hood. You are taking from the poor and giving to the rich. Man, this country is messed up. You know, we are so messed up in our priorities. We are too busy worrying about giving tax cuts to already wealthy corporations. Corporations are sitting on $2 trillion of cash, and they don't need to spend it. What are they going to spend it on? They're not going to create jobs if there's no demand. And right now, there is no demand. And a sales tax, upping the sales tax, is going to cut demand. We've got it completely ass backwards in this country. Completely ass backwards. If you think the job creators are going to sit there and create jobs just because they feel like it, it's not going to happen. And we can give them as much money as we want. They're not going to create jobs if there is no demand. Shit gets me riled up, you know. It just, I can't stand it. It makes absolutely no sense. And yet people like Bobby Jindal, they're conservative rising stars, man. You know, it's the new face. And it's ironic that you know, Bobby Jindal had said, well, we obviously got to stop being the party of big corporations. We got to stop being the stupid party. Well, way to go, Bobby. Great start, man. Great start.